The drive-by Paul. And Mbah a Moute kicks to Griffin. He dishes it to Mbah a Moute. 6 on the shot clock. The fadeaway. Rebound by the Bulls.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
The Clippers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Here's Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. And Gibson over to help. Griffin goes in. Kicks to Mbah a Moute. Lets it go from deep. Chicago has gone 1 or 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Butler. Blake Griffin pulls it in. For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. And here are the Bulls now. The shot is off.
Oh, it was a nice gamble, Kevin, but he just couldn't get it to go in.
Noah with the block. They recover it. Hall. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Pau Gasol is checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. McDermott's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Jeff Green is checked in for Griffin. Pierce comes in for Mbah a Moute. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's Austin Rivers in for Chris Paul.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
And Chicago has possession after the Clippers pick up 2.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
The kick out to Pierce. He feeds it to Green. And it's blocked by Mirotic. To the inside. Butler. Gasol kicks to Mirotic. From deep, Brooks. Here's Gasol. And that one is stuffed right through.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
Here is Brooks, following the score by Jamal Crawford. But they recover it. Second shot opportunity. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. 6 points for Jimmy Butler.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out.
Fires for 3. Mirotic's shot is off. Crawford drives in. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
And he beats the buzzer to end the quarter.
Terrific shot there. I mean, he was calm, he was poised, didn't rush it at all. You got to tip your hat to him.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Bulls out front, up by 4. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
We've got Mirotic. Rose is out there with Etuan Moore. Then there's Noah. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
And the Bulls making a change here. Dunleavy's checked in. The Clippers also making some changes. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Green. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Paul subbed in for Rivers. Chicago on defense. Here's Johnson, and a missed layup.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team in the way they approach the game.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clarkie came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Paul outside. They need this. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now, and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
Bahamute's checked in for Johnson.
There we go. That was yours. Lovables. Give him a hand. Come on, Chicago.
The Bulls leading by 9. The pass to Dunleavy. That's tipped. Out of bounds. The Clippers take possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Paul passes to Aldridge. Chicago grabs the miss. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist from Moore. Moore's got 3 assists in the game. Clippers trail by 11. You know, you work hard all season, Greg, to try and get into the playoffs, then get a favorable first-round matchup. How about the Clippers last year? Followed those steps. They're rewarded with the first-round matchup against the defending champions of the league, the San Antonio Spurs.
And not only were the Spurs the defending champions, but they came in playing terrific basketball down the stretch, which is kind of what they are noted for. And the Clippers, though, did well, even though that was the case.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Gibson comes in for Portis, and Justin Holiday subbed in for E'Twaun Moore.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Pass to Rose. Outside Holiday. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. And the Bulls lead by 11.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. The Clippers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Pau Gasol's checked in for Noah. Jimmy Butler comes in for Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. Chicago calls timeout.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
The Bulls leading by 9. Bulls had a good year against the West last season. 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their starting players missed.
And the first one drops. Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir. And Gasol sends it back. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for the Clippers. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already.
And for the Clippers and flop, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
The drive by Paul. Here's Jordan. No good. Some solid defense from Butler.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they